How's everybody doing today? You know, let's start with that. I haven't done one of those. We haven't done one. How are you guys doing?
I've been better.
Solid. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Ready to go. You feel me? Ready to roll, you know what I'm saying? End of the year.
We're pulling up on the New Year's, man. 2025 is over. We made it. Well, not officially yet.
Right. We got a little, you better hold your breath.
We're getting close, you know what I'm saying? I don't need no buzzer beaters. You know what I mean? But, y'all got any big New Year's plans? Anybody?
No. Party?
No, so today is the winter solstice. So I like to do some goal settings. You know it's the shortest day of the year today? Mm-hmm. And it's supposed to be like a really good time to just like reflect and try to get your life together. So I did a lot of like cleaning and organizing.
It's the shortest day?
Shortest day.
What does that mean?
Of the year. It's just literally the shortest day of the year.
Like in terms of like...
rotation.
Like light?
Atmosphere.
Okay.
The world, the globe, how it's spinning. Just the shortest day of the year.
So light, right? Like we're talking about like light. Because I mean, time, in terms of our interpretation of time, it will always be 24 hours in a day. But when we say shortest day of the year, we say... Scientifically.
The scientists said this is the shortest day of the year. It spins faster today.
It spins faster today. So that means that tomorrow, the light, it will be... We wake up with light earlier than usual, right? Or later?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it's just today's just a short day.
Yeah, I mean, you know, every day is not the same length of time. I mean, we run it on a 24-hour thing. Yeah. That's why daylight savings exists, because we're technically losing time each day.
Right.
And then they just change it. But that's pretty interesting that why did it have to be a Sunday? Why can't it be a working day? Like, why is summer solstice on a day that I'm not at work?
Like I said, it doesn't really... You're still going to work them hours, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, you're right.
I mean, I was working. I did not feel good today, and I was up at like 6 cleaning. I had so much laundry to put away. I swear, if I could find somebody to just like do all the things that I hate, like I don't mind washing laundry, but I hate putting it away. And like I personally like hate folding, so I hang everything. Mm-hmm. But then like my closet is the struggle bus, so I bought all these storage totes to like put all my summer stuff away, bring my winter stuff out. But then the winter clothes are so freaking big. Mm-hmm. So then it's just like, oh my gosh, yeah, I was going through it today.
No, I believe, like you said, with a lot of the winter, you packing it up, the hoodies, the jackets, coats, and all that, you just see how your closet just...
I went on a 3-day trip last weekend, and my suitcase was filled with 2 sweatsuits. Like, it was filled. I had to change what I was wearing.
You said with just 2 sweatsuits?
Because sweatpants and a hoodie, they're so big.
Yeah, they're big, yeah.
Like, my summer clothes, I could go on a 2-week vacation with a carry-on. Like, with summer clothes. Because they're so tiny.
Right.
And, like, I'm not the biggest person. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's nothing to throw some swimsuits in there and just be good. But winter, you got, like, 2-3 good outfits. Maybe.
Yeah.
Roll some jeans up in, like, a little bodysuit.
Yeah.
Like, it's so hard.
Yeah, no, I try to take this big bubble coat one time when I was going to Dallas, and I was like, yeah.
You gotta wear it. And I don't know if you guys pay attention to my social media, but I posted a really funny shopping haul. And yeah, I gotta find a place to put all them clothes.
Yeah, I see. You gotta, that is insane. I was like, damn, bags on bags, right? Yeah.
You know what was insane? Bringing that to my apartment from the mailroom was insane.
Yeah, they don't got like a little cart. They didn't give you a cart and be like, here, just wheel this up and just bring it back.
I have a cart.
The fact that you have a cart is ridiculous.
I have a cart and I have a dolly.
Was that all like Christmas? That was all Christmas gifts to yourself, right?
No, I bought that before Christmas. That came in like November. I just posted it.
You just now got around to... Wow.
Yeah, because I was running out of storage on my phone, so I was posting it. No, those are my winter clothes that I had bought.
Wow. She gets a whole new wardrobe every season.
No, so I've been wearing my clothes. Remember I said that I would only wear stuff like once?
You did say you was going to start
Yeah, so I needed to finish these outfits. So I had bought shirts to go with the pants. I bought pants to go with the shirts, and then I had to buy some coats. And then I gave a lot of stuff away. So it was just, being more intentional. But, I was having a time trying to put all that stuff away. A time.
Nah, I believe it. Shit. What you had... I know right now I wouldn't know where to put that kind of, like, that much clothes. So
yeah, I had to hide it because I had my little friend over, and I was like, yeah, he's gonna judge me.
For sure.
Yeah, it was like 10 bags. Yeah. I was like, I'm definitely getting judged.
I would have seen that. I was been like, yeah, damn, you know what I'm saying? This is what I got to start doing, right? Like I'm about to do this every time. I'm about to come up with more bags for her every time.
What do you mean?
I know. So when I remember early 20s. If a girl I used to go to, she had her own crib, and I wouldn't know how much I would have to spend, literally just by walking through the front door. Like, okay, this is where I'm gonna be at. Have to be at right here with this one. And that was good. It was a great
indicator.
Yes, absolutely, 100% for sure.
So, are you judging this based on like the furniture, the art? Like, what are you judging this based
everything.
on?
Everything is a variable. Every single thing from how she does interior decorating, how she presents herself, how many things she has in the house, the size of the crib, obviously, just a lot. And even if I first meet her, she might seem frugal when I first meet her. If her crib is like super specific, very well detailed, you know what I'm saying? You see a lot of different fabrics and all that. Couches are very high quality. All this other stuff is like, okay, she's not really frugal for real. She actually does go hard, but she goes hard for her crib more so than she does outside. But that's cool. But she stays inside a lot too, though. So that also makes sense.
Your home has to be immaculate.
Yeah.
People that don't like their home, I don't trust you.
I've seen girls non-furnished.
Yeah, I don't trust you.
That'll scare me. I ain't gonna lie.
I don't trust you.
You walk into a chick house and she ain't got no furniture, just a
I don't
couch.
trust you.
Non-furnished. Outside,
Just a couch and a
outside
bed.
though, flawless.
But that's
Oh,
the
like she
thing,
got on
because
clothes
you're
and all
always
that?
outside.
Oh no,
You're always outside. Like, I don't trust people
she
that
gonna
don't
never
like to
want
be
you at her
home. I don't. There's a reason that you can't just be. That doesn't sit right with me. I love my home.
Sounds like you're a homebody then.
I like outside too, but I mean, I pay a lot of rent, so I want to enjoy my space.
I believe that. I know that.
That's the one for real. That's
I'm gonna
definitely
enjoy it.
the
I'm
one
gonna get
for
all
real.
my money's worth. Divide your rent by how many days there are in the month, and that's how much per day it costs you to live in there. Yeah. You should enjoy your space.
That's true.
Yeah. But with the New Year's talks, we got a lot to cover. We want to do a year in review today. So welcome to the Bridge ATL, y'all. I'm your host, Ty, and with me as always, we got Kell.
Yo.
And we got Ashley.
Hey.
And I think what has this been about? Almost not 2 years yet, has it? No, we're not.
This is just a year.
I know, but you was here for the last Christmas.
Actually,
You did-
she's
you
a
did
year and
another
some
Christmas.
change. She a year and some
You know what I'm
change.
saying?
You know what I'm
You
saying?
a year and some change. So we're here at the end of the year. 2025 is leaving us soon. We thank all of y'all for rocking with us and continuing to rock with us. Thank y'all for liking, commenting, subscribing, checking us out on all the different platforms we're on. You don't even got to watch us on YouTube all the time now. You can listen to us. We're on podcasts. We're everywhere. So make sure y'all are checking us out on those. With that being said, I really want to kick this off with our hot topic that we've always talked about this year. We've had quite a few episodes covering this. We want to get into politics. And I mean, even just this month, politically, we finally have gotten the release of the Epstein files. The trickling.
Did we?
My bad. The trickling of the Epstein files is coming out. And then some of them are so redacted that there was no point. They could have just kept those pages.
There was a wait list.
To get into the site, yep.
Yeah. Did you guys go on the site?
I didn't, no.
Did you?
No.
I feel like this is the longest relationship that I've wanted out of. Like, save me. I'm done. I want off this ride. Like, it's so annoyingly stressful for no reason. I feel like they were like, here, dang, take it. But we're not giving it to you. Like, there's nothing I guess you were able to read some because they did say a couple of the victims were vindicated in what they said. And of course, there was stuff released on Bill Clinton, which I'm surprised seeing as how Trump and Bill seem to have relations. I'm surprised that they released all that. But I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm over it.
I mean, it was a ploy used by Trump's campaign to say, hey, this guy is bad, and I'm going to release his files.
Ooh.
And it was supposed to boost his Trump, and it was supposed to boost his his favor. But that kind of backfired in a way, but also because of how they redacted everything, it didn't really backfire. So they're able to have some kind of contingency plan, so it didn't reveal what his intentions while he was with him. It was a weird campaign strategy for him to claim that he was going to release the Epstein files anyway. So I always held my breath when it came to those files because I knew what it was. It was always a tool for
Trump
him to
is
get
a
office.
liar. He hasn't done anything. Well, let me not say that. He's done certain things that he said that he was going to do, But I feel like knowing that those files talked about him, like when Epstein straight up said Trump is a terrible person, that's when I knew they weren't going to get released. Because you have somebody that's being labeled as a predator saying that you, in fact, are a terrible human and they don't want to be around you, and everybody's looking at them like they're crazy. So for them to say that about you, there was no way he was going to release it. It doesn't make sense. And then the things that he's been on record saying, flirting with his daughter, sexually assaulting women, comments made, all of his issues, all of his sexual harassment lawsuits, like, I knew that they weren't going to be released. So for me, it's just kind of like, okay.
I mean, I don't think he's going to be prosecuted. Even if he was on there and there was something incriminating for him to be prosecuted on, it wouldn't even happen.
He just made an announcement that he's gifting himself like however much money so that he can pay his lawyer fees and like all his fines. Like, it's just a joke at this point. Like, I feel like he's seeing how much he can get away with. And I mean, we're just letting him. Like, where's all this anger and outrage? And like, I just saw something recently that was like, white men are able to file DEI lawsuits that feel like they've been discriminated against in the workplace.
Yeah. I mean, Vance recently said white people don't have to feel guilty anymore or something like that, which is,
I don't think white people should feel guilty, though.
I don't know why white people are feeling guilty about anything anyway.
I don't think white people feel guilty, and I think that's the issue. Like, the issue isn't that you need to feel guilty. Like, black people are aware that you personally did not own slaves and you weren't doing those things.
Right.
But we do understand that your grandparents did. Because my grandma drank out of segregated water fountains. Like, not my great-grandma, my grandma had a colored-only water fountain living in Alabama, who is alive and kicking, and I think she's in her 70s. So my issue isn't that I want you to feel bad. I want you to be aware so that it doesn't repeat itself. I want you to not make ill comments. I want you to not pretend like there's not a double standard. Hence what's happening now. If Obama brought his black behind in office, hired all of his friends, and was just doing whatever he pleased and insider trading, lying, stealing White House desks and renaming people and just making this country look like a mockery, withholding people's food stamps, not feeding people, just everything that he's doing, it would have never happened. So my thing is, like, at what point do we realize, like, we are now living in the epitome of white privilege? Like, there's no more bury your head in the sand.
And that's really the only thing is, like, black people, obviously I can't speak for every black person, but I'm pretty sure most black people have the same sentiment. Is if in white positions, people in those positions, if they were black, they would not be able to do what those white people did in those same positions.
Never.
And that is the main thing that we see. We don't, I have many white friends. I don't have to compare. It just doesn't, I don't do that with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, colorless. I don't see color when it comes to that kind of stuff.
I hate when people say that. It's not that you don't see color. You're not bringing it up.
I feel what you're saying. But what I'm saying is, like, what I mean is specifically when it comes to things such as presidency or any power position, I know for a fact, and even they know for a fact, that if that person was another color, it would be more criticized. It would be more publicized. People would definitely come at them with more vitriol compared. And that's what we just don't want to happen. If everything was truly equal in that particular instance, there would be no complaints. There wouldn't be no feeling of white guilt or whatever that is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just wouldn't be a thing. We wouldn't have these conversations. But at the same time, that is also the idea of white guilt is also a tool or a ploy to rage bait his constituents to believe that is a thing to get y'all to vote for him. You know what I'm saying? You look at it online a lot. People think that people are using race in order to turn votes over and stuff like that, and that's not necessarily the case. All we want is just a better life in general, and that can easily happen. But we know, and the truth is that those at the top are basically specifically using these tactics to get y'all distracted away from what the true problems are. And race is one of those things that they can use as a tool to switch over votes towards their side. It's been a year of distractions. I mean, it's been a year of distractions for a long time to get y'all to not see what's going on. It will be the same next year. The difference between this year and next year is that The Democrats are having more power. They're getting more of a head start when it comes to these midterm elections that come up next year. And so, the Republicans see it. They're actually infighting a lot. Did y'all see the Vanity Fair articles?
I loved it.
Real quick, because all right, so look, Caroline
There's so many
Levitt.
issues.
Oh, yeah. So Caroline
Her lips.
Levitt, bro. So
Botox.
Caroline,
Lack of lips.
listen, I've never seen, and I'm pretty sure we've never. I mean, I don't think this ever happened. That was the most insane photo I've ever in my life. I remember when I seen it, I thought, okay, this is AI. This is not a real. This is not Vanity Fair for real. Somebody really just came in here after this man took this photo and like photoshopped the shit out of it. And then I'm looking, and it was like, no, that was intentional. I'm like, oh shit, like the hit piece is insane. Like,
so I don't think it was a hit piece, and I really wish people wouldn't say that. I feel like a hit piece or a takedown piece, you're normally just like coming super, super, super hard at the person. I don't feel like this was that. I feel like we are in a time where people are overly filtered. Like, there are people that I know that I see on social media that I'm like, you don't look like that. You don't look like that. That's not your face. Those aren't your lashes. Those aren't your lips. It's not your boobs. You don't look like that. Like, you already have work done and you're face tuning your pictures or you're slimming yourselves. Like, it's getting out of hand with the Photoshop. Now, if you've ever had professional pictures taken, you know that they pick up everything. Mm-hmm. Everything, which is why even if you don't wear makeup, they make you wear makeup because it's so hyper focused, the lighting, everything. I feel like everybody's like, oh, they made her look bad. That's what the girl looks like.
Yeah, I think it was all
period. Like, I think that they just didn't over edit it like she does her normal pictures. Because when you see these people in their TMZ versus their Instagram photos, right, it's very different because that's what you look like. You could see the filler Botox holes in her lips, which, granted, it's probably from people making fun of her because she has no lips. So then she got lips, and I mean, she looks very old. His entire cabinet looks very old. I mean, I'm 31. I think the little girl's 25.
She's 28.
Okay.
Yeah.
She looks 40.
Yeah.
And I think when you're filled with hate, when you are a terrible human being, when you are nasty, life has a way of aging you. And she probably drinks. She's probably tra-la-la, living her best life, going out partying, doing whatever she's doing. Those things weigh on you. So I don't think she probably smokes a vape pen based on all of the wrinkles. I feel like people are trying to blame Vanity Fair when I think Vanity Fair just magnified what they're doing. They didn't go out of their way to talk about them. They named things that they're doing. Unfortunately, this cabinet is a hot mess. So compared to their other pieces, it seems like a takedown piece or, oh, they're coming for them. No, they're naming what you're doing. They're telling people what you've done. So if you feel like it was so bad, maybe you shouldn't be a terrible human being.
I agree.
It's hard to talk about somebody that's done nothing but terrible things and make them seem great.
Yeah.
Like, you have nothing notable, nothing positive. You're ugly, you look crazy. So they just, I mean, you can't be mad because that's be mad at your parents. Like, you look the way you do because of genetics. That's not Vanity Fair's fault.
Yeah. I think what makes it interesting is just the framing of it, right? Like, people are taking it. This really goes back to all over the let me start that sentence over. This really goes back to the beginning of the year, right? Like, just looking at how his cabinet kind of came in and the type of people he hired and everything, and the obsession with how they're viewed in the public eye, right? They want to keep their PR as positive as possible because they know everything is against them at this point. Like, even at a certain point throughout the year, the half of the cabinet people are like half of MAGA were really against MAGA, right? So it's been a very interesting year politically. I know I had asked, you guys' thoughts on the Epstein files, but also Trump had an address right before the Epstein files. And he kind of promised, it was basically his address talking about what he wants to see for the new year. Did any of y'all catch that?
Is this when he was talking about paying himself the money for his court fees?
Was that what did he say that in there?
It's really hard for me to listen to him speak.
I understand.
So I don't. I'm not
so
gonna
you're
lie.
not gonna check it out. But
no,
I mean, did you
catch
catch
Cliff Notes.
That's what I'm saying. Did you
So,
catch the Cliff Notes?
the Cliff
Because
Notes, I thought
he
that was
said,
from that.
I know he said he was gonna try and pay soldiers a dividend.
And then he said, "You know what? I'm just gonna keep it."
In the address?
Let me look it up. I'm pretty sure that was that one.
That's crazy. I know he made certain days official holidays, even though I thought they already were.
The Trump day?
Christmas and Christmas Eve, he made government holidays.
Christmas Eve and the day after Christmas, he made government holidays.
Oh, so then all three of those days.
All three, yeah.
Okay. And then I know he promised better economic booms in 2026. You know, the usual spiel. Kind of just like opening the floor there. Do you guys, well, I know Ashley's answer. Do you think there is grounds for the economy to grow?
No.
Under his
Him,
administration?
yeah. For 2026. I mean, I know we started this year saying we don't want to see him make it that far, right? And the unfortunate truth is he's here. And he's essentially made it through almost a year.
He literally cut healthcare. He not even cut health. What the fuck am I talking about? He cut the cost of tax for saying the 1%, and then he increased healthcare costs. Yep. There is no way that the economy for American citizens as a whole
is going to grow.
No, when he made that decision, when those decisions literally when it happened, it literally doomed the economy for as long as those are in place, which I'm pretty sure for the next 4 years. So during his administration, we will never recover. Well, we will recover. We can recover, but it'll be after his presidency. It will never be during his presidency. Where's the money going to come from? Where are we getting the money from? The tariffs are not giving us enough money for any of that kind of shit because we're already bailing out companies. We're already bailing out the farmers that we have to bail out because they screwed them during the tariffs.
Did you see the company? So I think it was in that address, which I started laughing because one of his first comments were, for the last 4 years, the United States was ruled by politicians who fought only for insiders, illegal aliens, career criminals, corporate lobbyists, prisoners, terrorists, and all the above. Foreign nations. Now you have a president who fights for law-abiding, hardworking people of our country. The ones who make this nation run, which I feel like is laughable because he's a criminal. He's participated in insider trading. He's participated in all these things that he's saying he hasn't done. And America is dumb. And I say that because a simple Google search would have alleviated a lot of this. People voting against EBT, not knowing that that was SNAP. People voting against Obamacare, not knowing that was Medicare and Medicaid. People are stupid and they're allowing their racism to cloud their judgment to not research. Quick Google search is super, super easy to figure out all of this. In terms of him paying people back. So allegedly he's supposed to do these mortgage cuts. Along with the mortgage cuts, he's doing a 60-year, 30-year mortgage?
50-year.
50-year mortgage, that's
we already
stupid.
have 30, I think.
You can't pay your house off in 30 years. And all of you commenting that are so uneducated, oh, I resold my house and I did this and I did this. Factor how much you've paid in interest. You've bought that house 3 times over. You are not a winner. You're bad at math. Like, period. And like, oh, he's giving this money to the soldiers. Part of that money that he's giving them was money that they did not receive during the government shutdown. So you're not being gifted anything. If I say, hey, can I borrow $100? You give me $100, and then a month later I say, oh, I'm gifting you $100. Is that a gift? Because that's what's happening. And I think people aren't realizing it. And it's like all of these gifts and, we're supposed to get money for a refund, he claims. We're supposed to get a refund for the tariffs that we've paid. Where is this money coming from? And we've talked about this several times. All of this, he's going to make the government better. It's going to make the world better. Money has to come from somewhere. It costs money to print money, hence us getting rid of the penny. Like, it costs so much money for us to have coins. People are moving over to not having coins or to doing coins similar to how they do it in Europe, where a coin is $1 or $5, and then there's not these 5 cents, 10 cents, because all of that is marketing. Like, you're no longer going to have a shirt that's $2.99. It's just going to be $3. It's going to be a flat fee. So for me, it's like, and we've talked about this before, check out our other episodes, In order for us to fix this and fix our government and get back, we're going to have another dictator situation where they just do an immediate run and undo everything that's been done. Because if not, it would take at least 10 years to fix this.
Longer.
Minimum.
Yeah.
It'd be at least 3 to 4 terms.
Yeah, I mean...
Minimum.
I think we talked about this before. I definitely talked about it with other people. I mean, the government died as soon as corporations were able to lobby for certain policies. That's where we died at. That's where the government died. Because once the companies win, you get what is happening today, in which Trump is creating an opportunity for the 1% to basically gain so much money that no matter who is in office,
doesn't matter. They
after
run
him,
it.
they run it, and so the economy could be absolute dog shit. They're gonna be fine. I mean,
look at the Netflix situation. What? TikTok is now being bought by Oracle. Like, when has a president stepped in to regulate social media? Everyone is so quick to throw around terms like communist, or, oh, we're a communist country, or, oh, we're going to be like North Korea. Hello? Do you look around? Like, are you not seeing you're being censored? Are you not seeing that there's suppression, there's viewer suppression, you don't have freedom of speech, all the hate speech, all the fake bots that were really from foreign countries for us to not, all these Trump supporters were foreign. Like, are we not, wake up. Like, it's very frustrating.
Netflix having that deal and then Trump saying, I'm going to have to take a look at that. It's kind of crazy. And then Paramount comes out of nowhere to say, hey, we're trying to get in. Shout out to WB for not taking the Paramount deal, by the way. You know what I'm saying? That was shout out. Because what would happen is Paramount is already under the government's grasp. So CBS, if you've seen...
Elmo's gone.
Yeah.
That was the issue with the South Park controversy. We talked about that.
Yeah.
And them just not caring and still talking about it. We are living in a place where if you're talking bad about the president, you are now at risk. What does that sound like? We're so quick to throw around, we live in America because we're free and we can do what we want. You cannot do what you want. Like, are you not able to see that? If you're not able to tweet what you want to tweet, say what you want to say, and do what you want to do, you're not free.
Yeah. I mean, we've been at critical mass. Y'all already know I've been telling y'all get your money up regardless, even before the election, because either way, like I said, the country has already been in a situation in which if you're not financially stable, you're at risk of just absolute disaster.
And did you see you're not allowed to have dual citizenship anymore? I guarantee it's going to be for like Europe only.
Yeah,
because they said that
Israel.
they're going to make it where you can only have one passport, and that's the U.S. passport. You can't have dual citizenship anymore.
Yeah.
Like, what? Why are you trying to keep us here? It's already crazy expensive to leave this country.
I mean, you don't let the pigs and cows just free reign.
Yeah, you can't let them leave. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I mean, even with that, like I said, I kind of want to. We're gonna keep moving with these. The economy, right? We talked about that. His tariffs. I think I already know the answer because we already talked about this when he first initiated them. Do you think they've helped anything?
No, they affect my business every day.
Do you feel like they were more of a dick swinging contest kind of
1000%.
thing? Yeah.
It was a business deal that he lost terribly. Mm-hmm. Because I mean, you know, he attempted to make it seem as though all the countries would bow down to his tariff demands, but he didn't. For some reason, I mean, he never had a plan for this shit anyway. He said it during the debate with Kamala. He never had a plan for none of this shit. He said tariffs, and then they were like, tariffs are never going to work. He's like, no, they're absolutely going to work. We're going to make so much money. As soon as he does them, every single, damn near all the countries that had to deal with us, with whether it was for buying soybeans, specifically soybeans, trying to say, okay, cool, we'll just go to fucking Argentina and get it from there. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And
America's privilege, in my opinion, has been that we are always able to appear stronger than what we are, smarter than what we are, more advanced than what we are. With Trump in office, we've showed that we don't have it together. Because to your point, they called us bluff.
Yeah.
And
easily.
It just showed that, like, you know what? And I think it's emboldening other countries to realize they don't need us. Because now you have a lot of countries that felt like, oh, you know, we need the U.S., we need this, that are now teaming up with other countries. They're like, we can figure this out on our own. We don't need them. And now we're kind of going to be on this little island by ourselves while everybody over here is doing great and flourishing, and then we're just stuck here because somebody's ego allowed them to feel like we were bigger than what we are. And it's sick to see because now countries that would have never worked together before are doing just fine. And it's almost like the pump fake. Like, all right, let's see what happens. Oh, well, it's not that bad. All right, let's keep going. And I think the issue is going to be, now that countries realize they don't have to work with us in order to succeed and be great, and we're not as scary as we said we were, now it's going to be like, why would we work with them? Why would we put ourselves back in that situation? You don't have control over your country. You can't even make your president stay awake.
It's crazy. It's a crazy world out, right? It's getting wild. But I guess just for the politics, kind of to wrap, do you all feel like any of your opinions on anything political this year was changed at any point? Like, did you think something was hopeless, or did you think something filled you with hope? Was something hopeful, or any thoughts? Any major events that really politically that made you say, okay, maybe we can come out of this, or no, we're going down the pits of despair.
I mean, yeah, the first batch of elections after his presidency, definitely. I mean, I expected a little blowback. I didn't expect it to be this major. The response has been overwhelmingly blue. So people are looking and paying attention. I mean, you've seen it. Even people who did vote for him previously have said, they made the wrong mistake. I mean, no shit, Sherlock. But like I said, at that point in which he got elected, it was the biggest realization of more than half Americans are just dumb. You feel me? Like, it sucks to say that. We don't want to say that, but when it's the truth, you got to say it. When it's facts, you have to say it. So, but the response gives you a little bit of hope. Is it enough hope? No. I mean, I feel like we can always go back to that dumb shit. So, right now, I'm still holding my breath until midterms, and even then, who knows? Politically, I can't think of anything positive yet until I see the House and Senate turn blue. And then that's when we'll see, because in my opinion, a presidency is always better when the president doesn't have full power. No matter if they're Democrat or Republican, it's important to have bipartisan decisions being made rather than not. So, yeah.
I don't think that's going to change. I don't think he's going to allow people to have control over him. I feel like there will be another shutdown, and then it's just going to be civil war. I don't.
Oh shit! Just straight to civil war.
Straight to civil war. Because you guys have to think, like, we put a bully in office, and think of what happens every time he doesn't get his own way. I fully believe and stand by what I said. Trump did not win this election. Because if he did, there would have been no need to blow up post office boxes. There would have been no need for voter suppression. There would have been no need for lying on social media. Like, there would have been no need. I feel like the amount of people that were shocked that he won is because they did not vote for him. The amount of votes that were thrown away, the recount that wasn't done, to me, that man stole the presidency. He did not win. And the way everybody had the whole Obama didn't win, Biden didn't win, Trump did not win the presidency. And we saw it when he had all of y'all running up and through the White House, like that wasn't the White House. And then you got pardoned for being a criminal. It's wild to me. And I feel like it's going to get worse before it gets better. But the good part is people are realizing how racist and divided this country is, and they are waking up. I think the good part that's going to come from all of this mess is things that Black people have been saying for years are finally coming to light, and we don't even have to speak on it. Like the just blind racism and hatred and things that are coming out of people's mouths that white people are saying, where is this coming from? White people are like, wait, who thinks like this? This is what we needed to shake it up, and I'm glad that it's happening. I hate that people are going hungry for it. I hate that it's going to cost the country so much, but this is the change that I believe we needed to make us more of a together country. But it's definitely going to get worse before it gets better. There are so many Black women running for different positions that if they are all elected, the government will shut down. And there will be an issue between what's right and what's legally allowed and what's not, because we've seen it. When Trump illegally shut down the office and kept it shut down, illegally refused to give people their food stamps, illegally refused to do things. I've seen corporations that are saying that they're going to sue him for tariffs because it affected their business so badly. So yeah, I think that we are in for a big old wake-up call, and it's going to be a lot of accountability, and it's going to get way worse before it gets better. Weaponizing U.S. troops on American citizens, arresting American citizens, deporting American citizens. Like, yeah, it's about to get real.
No, I think if he had
He's starting the purge.
I think I mean I don't think he started the purge.
He's starting the purge.
I think
I don't think it's gotten that far yet.
Did you not see the Hunger Games that he's starting?
Yeah, but I don't
That
think
is a real thing.
But it's not.
it's not Hunger Games.
The Hunger Games. It's
Just like it's not Alcatraz. Just like it's not. Everybody laughs it off, and it's not funny.
but it's not. It's
Just like people aren't living in a moat or surrounded by
for
alligators.
Me, the Patriot Games thing that he proposed is just another waste of money. That's it. Because it's supposed to be an athletic competition. There's no killing.
But he also said that he wanted to start with illegal immigrants, and then they tried to clean
So
it up.
that was something else.
And then they tried to
that
clean
was
it
something
up.
else from earlier in the year. I remember they said they would do that, and they can compete for the opportunity to be like
And this
legalized.
is the U.S. citizen version.
And then there was also the fact that you could pay like $1 million and get a gold card or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a lot, and I think we'll definitely see a lot more crazy. I mean, we talked about this at the beginning of the year. It's going to get wild. We said that people's eyes are going to be opened to just all that. I mean, it's not just racism; it's everything, right? Classism, sexism, all of it. Every group is being packed into being more of a group instead of making us a homogenized people. And when you separate your people like that, what's going to happen? Your whole society begins to crack. And then when that society cracks, what happens? It fails, and then we'll devolve into complete civil war or something when society starts seeing those cracks. But it's just crazy. But I definitely, politics, I think we've kind of established that we still sit on the same ideology, especially Ashley, that it's just going to be a rough time. And I'm with Kell. I'm hopeful. The Democratic sweep that we had for the most recent election was good. I'm hoping we can keep some momentum like that because the House does need more Democratic representation. I mean, for years, even before Trump, Republicans have kind of been big on that part of government, right? The House and the Senate. It has been primarily Republican, and it would be nice to see that shift over because now we have the back and forth like we're supposed to have. But I do want to get into some other topics throughout the year that I think were really, really hot button topics. One of the biggest hot button topics of the year was AI. I think 2025 was the year of AI really growing. Like, we knew about AI in 2024, but 2025 is the year that it really became like mainstream, in your face. Companies are picking up on it. It's even created a whole economic shift in marketplaces where AI-related tools are skyrocketing in price. Like the price of RAM for your PC is ridiculous because all these large companies are buying up AI. So as far as AI goes, how do you guys feel about it? Like its growth right now, like dropping into the workplace, AI is everywhere. I've even heard that like places like retailers are starting to use it. Publix, I believe, has an AI system now for helping them.
I love it. I think people fear what they don't know. I think we all use artificial intelligence every day, whether you're aware or not. If you're using Siri, if you're using ChatGPT. Again, I think it's all down, and we've talked about this before, I think it's all down to user input. So I genuinely, now I'm not sure the environmental concerns. I've seen a lot with like the water usage and things like that and pollution. So I'm not sure it's 10, 20 years from now what life is going to be like. However, I think for us to grow, it's one of those things that we have to get with. It's for us. Speaking for our age group, I think we've lived through all the times. Like, we've had cell phones, we've had computers, we've had laptops, we've had... Yeah, like, we've experienced everything. So for us, I think this is just another
step. Yep.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. I'm not scared for it. I love it. Give me my AI suggestions.
But I also think our
emails.
generation is the one that is the most concerned. When you see outrage and outcries on the internet about AI, and I think there's two distinctions. There's AI, which is what we use in almost everything, and then there's generative AI, which is the AI that makes like film, videos, pictures, all that.
Some of our commercials that we've been seeing.
So it seems like there's been just a blanketing of like hate towards any and all AI. But there are now people are trying to, I've noticed a shift in saying, well, we really hate generative AI, not all AI. Generative AI is the worst one. And, I just think it's been an interesting shift. But I did want to hear what Kell thought.
I mean, we had a whole
AI
episode
goes.
on AI. I mean, I think I compared it to gas cars compared to horses. I mean, that is what it is. I mean, I've said it. I know people are gonna hate it. The only hate I have for it, honestly, is the environmental concerns. Trump just allowed. I think he signed a bill saying that even states or state government or some form of government cannot stop them from creating data centers wherever. And that's terrible because they're creating data centers in impoverished communities. So these people in impoverished communities are having terrible air pollution, terrible water. So that's what is that? That's systemic racism right there, specifically off of AI, and that's absolutely terrible. And that is the worst part about it. If we can put these data centers in places where it wouldn't fuck up the environment as much, it would be a lot better. I would pray that they would change at least that particular thing about AI and figure out a way that we can put it in a spot where the environment isn't getting as fucked up as it is. But otherwise, in terms of the outcome of AI itself and what we use it for, whether it's generative AI, whether it's regular, I don't give a damn what it is. If it is more efficient, if it is faster, and it does the same amount of work, use it. I've always said this when it comes to creativity, whether it's drawing, whether it's doing digital art, videos, whatever. The human mind will always be better. Will we have to work more as humans when it comes to doing these things? Yes. I mean, that's just what happens. With any new invention, you have to just be better than that particular invention. But usually 9 times out of 10, that invention is, if it's more efficient, it actually works better for the community all the time. And we just have to adapt to that. You have to adapt as human beings to new inventions. So yeah, I mean, on that part of the actual output of AI, I don't have anything wrong with it. It is what we need to focus on. And I think, what's his face? Who's the old head who's like really beloved as a politician, but he's independent. You know what I'm talking about? He's the senator from Virginia.
He tried to be president?
Yeah. Bernie Sanders. So Bernie Sanders actually had I think he had a talk about AI, a speech about AI and the benefits of it, and also talked about the environmental concerns. And like I said, we need to have some form of regulation towards AI so that we, these data centers are getting built in impoverished communities, and that we can actually healthily also regulate how they're being put out. Because another thing, obviously, that we all know, a bad thing about AI is that a lot of it is it looks so fucking real.
That's what I was going to say. That's my issue with AI is generative AI. Because people make racist things. Yeah. And people are too dumb to figure out if it's true or not.
Because I'll see black people in AI doing crazy shit, and I know it ain't niggas making that shit.
And the commercials on YouTube and everything. So I think that would be my issue, is I feel like it's a slippery slope when it's going to come down to people committing crimes and saying like, oh, that wasn't me. That was doctored, or, oh, that was AI. Like, I didn't actually do that. That's not real. That's the issue that I see coming. I see there being a lot of litigation, a lot of lawsuits between stealing people's likeness, stealing people's voices. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Matt Barnes got AI catfish.
So I will say, with AI, these scams will increase. Right? These scams will increase, but I think these things have existed before AI.
And that's what, to that point.
People have been getting scammed before AI,
if you're
AI,
a Matt
catfish.
Barnes and you're paying for women, whether it's a real lady or an AI, that's on you. However, when it comes down to stealing somebody's likeness and profiting, that's an issue. When it comes down to committing a crime and using somebody else's face, race baiting, etc., those are my issues.
Mm-hmm. And I definitely agree. There should be some provisions.
I mean, we have a DMV, right? That's what we got for cars when cars came out. We need a fucking Department of AI.
Like a Department of AI, yeah. We need somebody to regulate the videos.
I seen a video where a dude, this is the craziest shit. He took a video of this dude, he was at slot machines with another person. He used AI to have the guy walk up to the other guy
and kiss him on the back of his head.
And then he showed the old head like, hey, this dude just kissed the back of your head. And it fucked him up so much because he didn't remember it, obviously, but he sees the video like, no, that shit definitely happened. So they walking up to the guy like, hey, you kissed him in the back of his head. He's like, no, I didn't do that shit. And he's looking at it and he's confused too. Like, no, that's not me. I didn't do that. The old head's gonna be, bro. It's gonna get to a point where if it does not happen, it's gonna be something
Like
on the
right
news.
now, they think it's a joke.
Yeah, something on the news gonna happen because it's only getting better. It's only
Cheating
getting better.
scandals, killing scandals.
I wouldn't
Somebody's
even,
gonna
I
end
would
up
even
losing
think
their
cheating. I
life.
would think like larger scale, fake wars,
Yeah.
fake political events.
So there's a movie on HBO Max. I think it's called Mountainhead, and it's loosely based on a couple billionaires. I'll let you decide who it's based on. But in it, they're all taking this yearly vacation where they go up and they talk about ideas and try to plan their year. And one of the guys, if you ever watch Gotham, it's the guy that played the Joker, or played the guy with the question mark. I can't think of his name.
Riddler?
Yes, the Riddler. He's in that, and he's, in my opinion, he's Elon Musk in here. And he's like, yeah, bro, I can't believe what's going on right now. And his friend's like, yeah, you guys started a war because of AI and people promoting it on social media. Like, what do you mean? And he's like, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. Like, who cares? Da, da, da. And they're having this back and forth. And basically, wars are going on in other countries because of fake videos that are showing different people doing different things. So it's loosely based, I think, on Palestine and Israel. And people rage baiting and creating fake things, but then the country's reacting based on what they're seeing, which I feel like is very real. Check it out, watch it. It's not sponsored or anything, but that's where I could see this going, to that point of it can get real bad real fast.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with y'all. We definitely need some kind of board to provision this kind of thing, and make sure it's being taken care of. But another thing that I think has been kind of on the rise this year, specifically this year, I don't know. This feels like this has been the year of like influencers, social media growth. I know we had an episode where we talked about this, and we've mentioned it on and off a few times, but just seeing the amount of people who have shifted to more doing online content creation, all of that, I think that's been an interesting kind of like spin on this year's economy. Like, so what are you guys' thoughts on that? Do you think there's something there, or do you think it's going to end up being like how the entrepreneurship thing kind of happened, where everybody and their mama had a business and it just doesn't pan out for everybody except the people who were actually serious about it,
I think I said it before. Everybody needs to have some kind of social media. Content creation is basically just you creating your own business. You see athletes nowadays creating streams for extra revenue for a reason. It's just extra income, you know what I'm saying? Smaller, large, whatever. If you're on the internet, if you're using social media every day and you don't really utilize it for advertising your own business or something that can benefit you monetarily, you're kind of doing it wrong. It is a tool. It's a tool while also being used for entertainment. It just gives you another avenue, man. Why not?
It's not going anywhere. So I think the new version of Avon or an MLM, like, it's never going anywhere. There's always going to be an affiliate link. There's always going to be a way to monetize and make more money. So I feel like hop on it. Stop talking about people just because you're too afraid to do it. Get those affiliate links. It's not going to go anywhere. I think it's just going to get more and more. Companies are able to save advertising dollars, so why not? People saying, oh, it's going to pop. No, it's not. And I feel like, if anything, it's just not going to be talked about as much. And then it's going to be one of those quiet things like, oh, how do you make money? Oh, I make these ads, or oh, I do this. Because now companies are able to save hundreds of thousands of dollars from little Annie just making these ads in her apartment. And some of the stuff that I've seen is better than what we've been seeing on TV. So, I mean, like, Herbal Essence has a commercial right now with a creator. JCPenney's has their ads out. Like, a lot of people are leaning towards that because it's cheaper and it makes sense. So I feel like, get with it. I mean, I don't think that they're the new celebrities, but I also feel like, stop judging people when you see them taking pictures, because when you go to Yelp or you go to Google, you want to see pictures. So stop being weird. How do you think they're going to get the pictures? How are you going to be able to see the food if nobody's taking pictures of the food? I don't think it needs to be a dramatic, oh my God, I have this light, I have this production. But I mean, let people mind your business. Let people make their money, like, and get on it and make some money too.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, one of the other things I really wanted to talk about this year, big pop culture wise,
Diddy.
we finally got a resolution to the Diddy case.
Did we though?
I mean, he's in jail. So, and
feel
that's
like
about as resolute as it's going to get, unfortunately.
Diddy opened a can of worms, centipedes, everything. Everything's crawling out. I see people calling for Hollywood names. Did you guys see the video I sent you? People are calling for accountability.
Yeah.
They're calling
But
for
I think,
everybody.
So do you think this was like a double whammy? Diddy and then the Epstein files are slowly trickling out, and we're getting more and more pictures of people. Like I've seen the pictures where it was like a picture with Chris Tucker hanging out with them. There's a picture of Michael Jackson hanging out with them. There's just been pictures of other people hanging out with Epstein and his wife, and you know.
I don't even think they were married, but I think our parents' generation allowed a lot of inappropriate things to happen. And a lot of things were pushed under the rug, and it was just kind of like, we know it's bad, but we don't talk about it.
True, look at Freaknik.
But that's not even what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like Elvis. I'm talking about what's her, like the Beatles, like people marrying 16-year-olds, 15-year-olds, and us just acting like that's normal and okay because they're a celebrity. People wanting their kids to be Disney stars, but us forgetting about the eating disorders, them being sexually assaulted, parents giving up custody of their children, Usher's mom giving up custody to Diddy having custody of Bieber for a day. I feel like there was a lot of trickle down that when it came to us, we were like, hold up, wait a minute. Like, this is kind of getting out of hand because a lot of this we were too young for. Like, I remember watching Making the Band and being like, that's weird. Why are they running around in the middle of the night to go get cheesecake? Like, that has nothing to do with this band. This is stupid. I'm not watching it. And I stopped watching it.
I think the difference is just that we had more technology and they didn't. We actually seen it a lot more than they did. Because back in our parents' days, they had radio and shit. They didn't even have reality TV like we did. You know what I'm saying? When we peeped all of that. The thing is that because it's still going on even in our generation. You know what I'm saying?
Kids, but we're speaking out more is what I'm saying.
And we have the platforms to speak out more.
Yeah.
Because there's people who probably seen that shit with Diddy couldn't speak out. I mean, how do you speak out against people like Elvis when the only way you could really speak out is going on radio, but somebody has to believe you, right? Like,
and that's the thing. I think for our parents, it was kind of like, stay out of it, mind your business, shut up.
Yeah.
Like, just, this is the way things are, and that's the way it's going to be, and that's it. And that's what caught Diddy up. He was thinking he was safe because, well, I've been acting a fool for years and nobody has said anything. Mm-hmm. Look at Ellen. I mean, the list can go on and on. We got Disney, we got Nickelodeon, we got Ellen. Justin Bieber is a victim. Like, there's so many children that are victims from these behaviors that now we're able to hold them accountable. And I think our generation is a lot more emotionally mature to say, okay, you were enabling this bad guy because you wanted to check. Because when I watched that Diddy documentary, the only thing that I got out of that was all those people were enabling him until they weren't paid.
Oh no, they said that. I mean, Buddy said that. He said, am I part of Diddy's crew? You could say that. And am I only saying it now because I'm down? You could say that. But I'm here now and I'm saying it, so.
And I respect that more than the other people. Like, I forget the light-skinned girl at the end who basically kept going back and forth. Like, I was gonna stay out of it, but then they called me, but then, and I don't really want to be here. But so I feel like there's going to be a lot more exposés. There's going to be a lot more people that are trying to help people. But I think we've seen the shifts. In the music industry especially, you have a lot more people that are unsigned. You have a lot more artists that have made their own record labels. But I also feel like as people, we need to be aware. Stop asking Rihanna for songs. She's openly said several times, when I signed that agreement, they told me I was leaving through a body bag or the window. Or I'm sorry, the window, or I signed and could leave through the front door. And y'all still asking this girl for music. So I feel like a lot more is going to come out, and I think it's about to be a slippery slope because I feel like everybody was doing bad business in one way or another.
I feel like Diddy just didn't pay that check. I still believe that. And that's all it was. He
didn't pay his dues?
Yeah. Something happened.
His downfall started last year.
He got somebody mad, and they were like, okay, bro, because you have to look at the absolute when like just everything that happened after that, bro.
But you know the family he made mad.
What was it the you gonna say the Clooney's or something, or who?
It was the Diageos.
The Diageo, the liquor joints. Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the main culprit, right? That's like the number one.
Yeah.
Agave thing and all that.
Their
right?
money comes from the 1930s.
Yeah, okay, old money, super old.
Like-
So, all right, bury him.
Yeah,
And they buried the bro.
Don't throw rocks when you live in a glass house.
That shit's fucking crazy.
You want to tell me you're not going to sell my stuff? I need to pay you more. You're talking to me crazy. Well, pull out the receipts.
Because I ain't gonna lie, I don't care how much money my pops got. Nigga, you tell me that shit, all that shit that he did, bro.
But you have to remember his kids are victims too. They're in on that. Did you not see the
Are they
interaction?
victims or they also with him doing that shit too?
I think it's both. A victim. So if I take you as a child and I involve you in illegal
that shit.
activities,
Okay,
and
yeah.
that's all you know,
You're gonna be acclimated to that shit too.
you don't know any better. Like those kids, it's worse than Stockholm. They don't see nothing wrong, and all of his kids got issues. They're all facing legal. The one son, Justin, is in trouble for attempted murder. He has a case. The other son has a case from beating his girlfriend up, stealing her phone, and keeping her in a house for days. They got their own cases. And he said that they were at the freak offs with him. So all he did was just start a new generation. Him and his son were dating the same girl. Like, you know? It's just, I'm curious to see who else is gonna come out. Because I feel like
It depends on who they want to come out.
I feel like it's who they have enough
Because
evidence on.
money can bury it, but
If they have enough evidence and enough people start to come forward, it's going to be similar to the Epstein files. You have too many people talking and making a ruckus. If it's substantiated, that's going to be the problem.
See, and the thing is with the Epstein files, he fucked up. Trump fucked up because his policies were not working in the way that they were supposed to. The terrorists weren't doing what they were supposed to. So this allowed the Democrats to keep pushing the idea of the Epstein files, while also the conspiracy theorists, those who were undecided who did vote for Trump, were also like, I kind of voted for you because I want to see these files too.
Right.
So you need to release these.
This
I don't give a
what
fuck
he
what you
said.
talking about. Like I don't care if you stop talking about Epstein files. Fuck that. I literally voted for you because I wanted to see who was in those files. Because they said everybody and their mama was in these files, and I need to see that. Like it was, yeah. So.
And the girls were name dropping, and I think what really hurt him was those girls are vindicated. Because in the bits and pieces that they dropped, it proved that they were telling the truth. So my question, everybody's question now is if all of those redactions are Trump, that's a problem. If everything that's being redacted,
I don't think it's just Trump.
But if it's Trump and his cabinet,
But if Trump is in those, that's all that matters.
If
And I
he's
think he
in-
is in those
I think
redacted
he's
files.
Absolutely.
But I think
in those
other key people. I mean, we talked about this before. There are people in the files that they cannot be outed.
Europe did the best thing that they could do, and they immediately got rid of Prince Andrew.
Oh yeah.
And wiped their hands. They said, you know what? You were named. It's enough. We're done. And I feel like if we would have did the same thing, if we would have said, you know what? We have videos of you with this man. We have pictures of you with this man. We have emails of you talking to this man. This man's talking about you. You are no longer fit to run this
It's
country.
kind of hard to do that when all the people who would be able to do that are your homies.
But that's where I feel like civil war is going to come into play, because
If all my homies was in office with me and I was out here doing crazy shit, my homie's gonna be like, it's Tyler, man. He
and
put us
that's
up
crazy
here.
because
So,
why are your homies allowing you to be a predator? All of y'all need to go to jail.
They all need to go to jail.
Everybody needs to go to jail.
birds of a feather.
Everybody needs to be in jail.
Birds of a feather. Ducks gonna always be with ducks.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
and I guarantee that's a lot of those black lines. And I hope all of y'all rot in prison.
That's crazy. But I do want to get into some lighter topics. But before that, are there any newsworthy headlines or anything major this year that you guys feel like we that just defined this year? You know, we had the assassination of Charlie Kirk.
I'm so tired of hearing about it. That is not newsworthy. He's a podcaster. Do you know there's been more deaths this year than days in the year? That's newsworthy.
We had that, all the different, it gets really political, really. There was just a lot politically, like the Department of Education thing, that judge being kicked out for obstruction, stopping an illegal immigrant,
Tylenol causes autism.
him even being the head of health, the Secretary of Health.
I'm so sick of living in like reality television. I feel like every day it's just like, oh my God.
All the different plane crashes that happened and how everybody kind of made that a huge thing during the earlier part of the year.
But you do realize what all of these crazy things have in common? The piss poor administration that we have.
Yeah. Trump and Elon breaking up.
None of these headlines are like newsworthy. None of these things would have happened had we not had an incompetent, terrible, fake businessman turned reality star running the country. I feel like we're in an episode of Real Housewives, but we're poor. Like.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, let's move into something a little bit lighter. Well, it might not end up being that light. But I want to ask you guys, what do you want to take into 2026 and what do you want to leave?
Money. All the
Shit.
money.
She said it, bro.
Getting paid over here.
I mean, you already know that was you knew
Money?
before you even asked that was going to be the fucking question.
What, money?
Yeah, it has to be. At this point,
you going to take some pennies into 2026? Because they ain't making them no more.
As I stand as a black man in America, the only thing I have to honestly care about family, obviously, family, is money. Yeah, what the fuck else? Like,
word.
I
think money is like a given, though. Who? Not many people don't want money, right? So
who?
I said not many people don't want money.
Okay, I'm about to say you don't. You need
so thinking more. What's the word? Intrinsically. Thinking more intrinsically. What would you want to hope? Like, is there? It could be something inward. It could be something outward. Obviously, I think the sentiment here is that we want to leave Trump in 2025, but unfortunately, we can't do that. So
this is going to be my selfish year, where I'm just putting my oxygen mask on first. And it's like, whatever is going to benefit me, I feel like I always think about other people and like, oh, how this will affect them and da-da-da. No, I feel like this, like from now until 2026, my focus is Ashley. And
I feel like this is what you told us last year.
I know, but then the year just started kicking my ass.
And you stopped being selfish. She was like, no, I
didn't have that energy. Like,
to be selfish?
No, I didn't.
feel like being selfish takes less energy.
I feel like this whole year I was in like fight or flight. And it was just very reactionary. Like something happened, then I had to react. Something else happened, then I had to react. Something else happened, then I had to react. And I wasn't able to just actually do what I wanted to do. It was just like my back is against the wall and I was just like, okay. So for me, I feel like my focus is genuinely me and like what's making me happy. What do I want? I've been thinking about taking a little break and like putting my stuff in storage and going away for a month and then coming back, trying some stuff out. These episodes won't be interrupted, but just thinking about like...
You go to some random country and disappear for a month?
I don't know about a country. I was thinking about trying New York out.
Oh, okay.
And then maybe Miami. There's a lot of opportunities that I could do. And I feel like now's the time. I'm young. I don't have any kids. Figure out something with Nyla. But yeah, like, I don't know. I just want to do stuff. Because I feel like, every day is not promised. And what am I waiting for? Like, genuinely, what am I waiting for? I just do it.
Okay. Word. You got anything super insightful like that, Kell? Like I said, money doesn't really count. I mean, I feel like everybody wants money, man. Oh, like I said, not many people don't want money.
Next year, and y'all see it, there's going to be a couple changes with the show. Not even just the show in general. We're going to upgrade a lot of things. The brand is going to more than double next year with the stuff that we got coming. The Bridge is, as a household name, will be sooner than we thought. But y'all gonna see it better than I can tell you. I'm more of an action person, so y'all see that. And that's basically what my focus is next year, is basically just uplifting the brand and putting it where it's supposed to be at. So that not only y'all who are watching, but even your friends, you even got to mention it to them. They already know. So that's what we're gonna be on for next year.
That's what's up. I guess for me, growth and focus. I want to focus on the things that I've been saying I need to focus on, and I want to grow in being able to focus on those things. I want to grow into being a more focused individual. I feel like I try to pull myself into too many directions oftentimes, and I want to learn how to center and focus on what needs to be done and actually grow. Like Kell said, the Bridge, we want to grow it. There's so many other projects I have personally and even in the group that I want to see grow. And it's just time to make something of all of these ideas. So I really want to bring growth and focus with me for sure.
I'm so glad you said that. Okay, so you guys know, like, I'm a little spiritual and woo-woo. So I have something for you guys and for you guys. So I just saw something that it was like, and by the time this comes out, I know it's going to be past, but you can still do it. So it was like, write 12 things that you want to do next year. So you have your projects. It's probably finish a screenwriting, finish something, right? So write them down, and then you need to cut them, fold them up, and put them in a jar. And then every day for the next 10 days or 12 days, take them out and burn them. Take them out and burn them. And then when there's one left, you open it and read it, and that's what you have to finish by the end of the year. Have to. It's non-negotiable. The rest you can still come back to, but that one you have to do. I think you should try it. I think you should do it and see if you're going to finish it.
Interesting.
I think you should try it out.
I'll think about it.
I think you should. He's not going to do it. But I want you guys to do it, and I'd be so curious to see what your goals are and what's the one that you pulled. Because I'm really curious to see. I'm going to do it tonight and starting for like the next 10 days because I'm really curious to see out of everything that I write down and then I shake up, I'm really curious to see what's the one thing that I'm going to pull. Yeah, I'll let you guys know. They're not going to do it, though. They should.
What was it? She always said we ain't gonna do something.
You gonna do it?
Yeah, I'll probably do it. I have a jar. I just copped a jar.
You just
yesterday.
put it in a cup. You don't even need. Just put it in something.
Okay.
And just take one out every day.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see what you end up with. Are you gonna try it?
I might. I don't know. Well, what do you want me to? Yeah, of course I'm going to. But that sounds sarcastic, doesn't it?
I mean, we could put it in the group chat and say like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do it."
I'm gonna
Did you pull it today? Did you pull it today?
Yeah, I was just burn it, right? You just gotta put it in there and just burn it. All right.
That's it.
I can start cutting shit up.
Yeah, little arts and crafts. I'll send it to you. But I'm curious because I really want to see, like, out of all the things I write down, what do I pull and then do I do it?
But that had to be short term, right? Because you said we gotta
It
do
can
it.
be whatever. You just have until the end of the year to do it. Not this year. Like, you have all of 2026 to do it.
Oh, okay, bad.
She's just saying use the last 12 days to figure it out.
To knock it out.
Yeah.
And so so when do I start pulling? Like before the end of the year?
Tomorrow.
Oh, okay. So whatever I pick
tomorrow's
up,
what?
I have to do this thing.
Tomorrow's
That's a
the
bet.
22nd. You're going to run out of days. We're going to be in January, right?
So then count the days. So how many days?
You really should have started yesterday.
Well, listen, I just saw the video today.
So we're gonna do 9.
So yeah, do 9. Pull.
I mean, you can do 12, pull 3. Catch up.
Do 9, but make them like real. Don't be like be a millionaire unless you just about to play the lottery every day.
You might be able to make it to $1 million in a year. Some people have.
You get that deal signed for $1 million.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, for sure.
We
Just
can.
remember me.
You don't have to be a
You're
part of it.
going to have to be a part of it.
He's
He's talking about a deal for the show.
Yeah.
Listen, I wasn't gonna assume. I can't just be like, sign me up.
Well, did y'all have any other things y'all wanted to leave with the audience before we wrap for the last episode of 2025?
Discernment was the word of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Look it up if you don't know what it is still. Go in the dictionary, check it out. Y'all need it. Bad. So discernment, nuance, 2 things. Learn them. Discernment and nuance.
I feel like be careful what you ask for because you might not be ready for it. And go into the new year I hate the whole new year, new me bullcrap. I feel like that's not real and it's okay.
It's fake news.
Yeah, you're not going to change overnight. Like, you don't have to go under your table and eat grapes. You don't have to make greens. Like, you can do whatever you want to do. You can clean your house. You can start fresh. But I feel like a lot of people get discouraged because they feel like they have to accomplish everything. And if they don't, then it's the end of the world. Start 12-week goals. Start 30-day goals. Start 90-day goals. Like, it doesn't have to be the whole year before you get it done. Like, I would challenge you to just start now. Start now. Write down what you want to do and then break it down. Get on chat. Ask it what you should work on and then just knock it out. Like, it doesn't need to take a whole year for you to go to the gym. It doesn't need to take a whole year for you to clean your car. It doesn't need to take a whole year for you to quit your job. Like, figure it out and just make it happen. And that would be my thing. Like, make this year make it happen year, whatever that looks like. And when you make it happen, like this and comment and let us know what you did. Let us know what happened and how it turned out. Like, I'm rooting for you if nobody else is. Stop telling all your fake friends and family your goals and just do it. Because nobody's going to believe in you until it's done. Nobody's going to be like, oh yeah, you got it. They'll tell you got it, but you're not going to get the support you need. So stop telling everybody and just do it. Be Mr. Miss, be about it. Knock it out. That's all I have.
Word. I mean, for me, I think you guys kind of hit it, really.
You can do it.
Yeah, I think you guys really hit it. I mean, just making sure you're more knowledgeable. Make sure you're actually becoming more aware on the things that are going on around you. Take that time to learn something. Learn what's going on, what's happening, what you need to do in order to make it move in the direction that you're interested in. Because we don't need to end up in a world like Idiocracy. I promise you all, we don't. We don't need that. And I've talked about that movie numerous times over the show. We do not need to end up like them. So definitely make sure you guys are educating yourselves on everything that's going on. Staying, taking some time away from social media sometimes, keep your mental safe. And just having a good year.
Bro, read a book. I need everybody to read one book by the end of 2026. Just one. I feel like y'all are not reading. I can tell. Read a book.
I mean, nationally, they're not reading, so they're definitely not reading.
Go buy a book and read it.
Possibly. Well, with that being said, we thank you all for joining us. We appreciate all the support you guys have given us throughout 2025, and we hope to see it continue and grow in 2026. I hope that you guys check us out. All of our information will be down below. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, do all the good things. Until next time, peace.
Bye.
Peace.